I've tried to do this video at least 10 times. At least 10 times. And I can't. So I think this video is going to be me saying why I can't do this video. I suppose the long and short of it is that it's too much. I can't compare 5 versions of the same perfume to each other in a video. Maybe it could be done through the medium of text or writing, where there is time to think and research, and there is time to make notes and contrast and compare. Maybe it can be done through interpretive dance. I don't know, because I don't do those. What I do is make videos, informed opinions in one take. I don't edit videos. I have fully formed thoughts about each version. I have compared and contrasted them in my own time. I have spent years with these perfumes, wearing, sparing them. I have made up my mind about each one. So what I'm going to do is, I'm basically going to spend this video, such as it is, telling you what I think of each version, but not comparing them. Because to compare them, 5 versions, is, I think, in this medium, it's not happening. If somebody does manage to cobble one together, I'm happy for you. Good for you. But I don't care, because I'm doing it. What I care about is what I can do. So let me sort of tell you my opinion. Before you see 5 iterations of Kouros through the years, if you want an in-depth, detailed breakdown of what different versions of Kouros are, what they look like, how to identify them, not how to get them, certainly not how to get them, how you sort of interpret them and things like that, Raiders of the Lost Scent. Raiders of the Lost Scent is a very good resource, as is Base Notes. There are threads on Base Notes where you will be able to explore, and the information has been built up over time with many contributors, and they will be able to give you a rounder picture than something I can do in a video that is shot in one take, because I don't edit, and I don't think it's suitable for a video format, actually, if you want the truth. It's not to say somebody else can't do it, but I'm not. Okay. So let's do the comparison, or let's talk about each iteration as best I can. Before you see 5 different versions of Kouros. This is the original. Charles of the Ritz. Charles of the Ritz was the original release, and I believe this is a 1985 bottle. Again, if you want to go to Raiders of the Lost Scent, they will be able to tell you how to identify different bottles from different generations and all that sort of thing. This is Parfums Corp. This was after 1986. This is Sanofi. You'll just have to believe us, but I did have Sanofi bottles. Only realised I'd sold them when I came to do this video. That was the first fucking major thing. But I did know that I decanted some before I gave a bottle to my mate Richie G. And yes, I did give him a bottle. This is the Gucci PPR. And this is L'Oreal. Now, strangely, I also have another bottle of Parfums Corp, but it's pointless just bringing both of them up. I'm selling Parfums Corp versions and the Gucci PPR. I'm going to keep the original Charles of the Ritz, and I'm going to keep the L'Oreal version, strangely. Okay. Charles of the Ritz, released in 1981. This was a revolutionary fragrance. Some people think it smells like pure man, and some people think it smells like pure animal. The fragrance was revolution when it came out, made by Pierre Bourdon. That was the first time that he revolutionised perfume. There were others. He did it like 3 or 4 times. Cool Water being another one. Yop Homme being another one. Exceptional perfumer. Maybe had the greatest influence on perfume that you smelled for the last 30, 40 years. Maybe. Anyway. This is animalic. It has warmth, it has musk, it has a darkness, it has a dryness to it. Especially on paper, on skin, it comes alive. On me, I get lots of the honey. I get lots of a fatty kind of leather. It's very warm. It's very clean. A lot of people don't get the cleanliness, but I do. Not necessarily straight away, but eventually. It's earthy. I get a lot of patchouli. There's something sparkling in here, like a soapy kind of quality. It's a bit of everything, right? It's a bit of everything. And it's one of the great fragrances ever released. And it's the originator. And I collect original versions of fragrances because I like vintage fragrances. And if I can't get the original, I'll get as close to it as possible. So that's the reason I'm keeping that one. And I love it. The second version, the license was moved over to Parfums Corp when I think maybe Charles of the Ritz went out of business. I'm unsure, or maybe they were bought out, but the second version is strangely, it's not as sweet. I get a lot of the honey on my skin from the Parfums Corp. No, I get a lot of the honey on my skin from the Charles of the Ritz. From the Parfums Corp, I get a lot more of that civet, animalic, dry, carnation, sage kind of thing going on. It's almost like incense. To me, the biggest difference in formulations between formulations which are next to each other is the first and the second one. Parfums Corp, I don't know what happened, I don't know what they did, but it's not as round. I don't know what changed. You know, I'm not a perfumer. But for me, on my skin, now I'm using the strips here to prompt us, because if you think I'm spraying 5 different versions of Kouros on skin to prompt myself, you can fuck right off. There is a definite biohazard in doing that, and I will not fucking, because they'd have to hose us down before they took us to hospital, alright? And if they knocked us back, I wouldn't fucking blame them. They just have to set us on fire, like. Anyway, I'm not a big fan of the Parfums Corp. I'm not a big fan of the Parfums Corp. Why do you own it? Well, because I didn't know that before I fucking bought it, did I? Because you can't sample these things. Anyway, next up we have the Sanofi version. I actually like the Sanofi version more than I like the Parfums Corp version, but it's still not that big, animalic, honey, almost Boss Number One type perfume. Givenchy Gentleman. For me, Boss Number One is contained within Kouros. Kouros has a lot more going on than Boss Number One does. Boss Number One feels like an abstraction of Kouros. Just take out the filth, take out the living part of Kouros and see what happens, you know. This has a little bit more life. It's a bit more leathery. It's more tonka. The civit's not as strong. There's a little bit of greenness in here. In that way, it is kind of alive. But it's more of like a vegetal, like a plant-based. It's not musky, it's not human, it doesn't sweat, it doesn't breathe, it's not warm. Still soapy though. They're all soapy to me. Okay, the Gucci PPR. Gucci PPR has much more of a top. Now you might say, well, of course it does, it's newer, so the top notes haven't gone. That's not what I mean. I mean it's lighter. Excuse me whilst I hydrate. I imagine the oak moss is dialed down quite a bit. I imagine that the civet or civet replacement has been quite taken away, but it still retains a bit of that dryness from the Parfums Corp version. It's soapy, it's much more aldehydic. So it has this kind of dry, soapy incense kind of thing going on. And it's very odd when you've smelled that original, where it's much sweeter and rounder and warm and hairy sort of thing. It's such an odd word to describe a perfume, but it's true. It's much more acceptable and it smells much more 90s and 2000s. It really does. You've got to remember, this is the version that was knocking around when Dior Homme came out. This is the version that was knocking around when Lidge came out. That kind of perfume, you know, the metrosexual man, smarter, more in touch with the feminine side. It's cleaner. It's much more focused on the cleanliness too. And then we get to the L'Oreal version. Now, usually I like to spit on L'Oreal because I hate them for what they've done to a lot of perfumes. And I'll be honest, the difference between Charles of the Ritz and the modern Kouros is night and day. They're almost different perfumes, but they aren't. That is its strength and its weakness, that they're almost different perfumes. Don't get me wrong, the Charles of the Ritz is the best version. It's my favourite version. It's the one I'm keeping, but I'm also keeping the L'Oreal version. Why? I'm keeping the L'Oreal version because, one, it's better than anything else that's been made at the minute out there. I don't know what year my version is. It's 38P71M. I don't know what year that makes it. But, and the bottle's cheapened out, even though it's ceramic and they're plastic, it's still, I mean, the spray's the shits, like. But this is soapy, and it's floral, and it's green, and it's sagey, and it's aldehydic, and it only has this kind of token piss that the others focused a lot more on it being pissy. You know, this has a token piss. You know? It relies a lot more on the geranium and the carnation, and the aldehydes are quite strong in here. There's something a little bit lavendery. There's not a lot of honey in the latest one. It's sagey, very sagey. Very little of that warm musk, civet, leather underbelly, undercake, you know? Undercake? Urinal cake. If I had to rank them, and I never do this, but if I had to rank them, Charles of the Ritz is number 1. I'd say Sanofi number 2. Gucci PPR number 3. L'Oreal number 4. And I really don't like the Parfums Corp one. I just don't like it. Just not my thing. This is a very hard video and I feel a bit beaten up by it. I'm going to put this out. I hope you enjoy it. Thank you very much for watching. And I will see you all again soon.